Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new video, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. It's great to have you here. So today we're going to be doing a mega review of at least 10 Jakks specific Sonic figures. Just sort of making up for lost time since I didn't get to review these guys on my channel before my hiatus. So yeah, this will be awesome. I know that there's some newly released stuff in here as well, so it's kind of like I'm making up for lost time with the old stuff, and I'm also reviewing new stuff while I'm at it. So without any further ado, let's take a look at the figures and get on with the review. So here are all the figures that I didn't get to review on my channel yet. So quite a diverse set of characters, and they are all unique in their special way. First up, we have Super Silver, and despite having minor changes like a new head sculpt and back fur spines standing up, I think this is a fantastic looking figure. Small changes can make a big difference, and this completes my Super Hedgehog trio. Articulation wise, he's got the typical action figure posability. It's got the rotating head, arms move, knees bend and swivel, and his boots are sort of on a ball joint, so he's got a pretty wide range of articulation. And I like to put him in this pose just because he's using his telekinesis and also he's powering up at the same time. If I'm not mistaken, he came with a white Chaos Emerald, so that also completes my entire set of Chaos Emeralds. After grabbing my silver figure, I realized that there actually are a couple differences. The first obviously being the head sculpt, but I also noticed that his right arm isn't bent like his super form. He's got the same left arm, and of course the back fur is spiked up on Super Silver, but it's not on regular silver. And well, the boots are the same at the bottom, so those were just a couple of differences. So that is Super Silver. Next up, we have Jet the Hawk, and his accessory is the hoverboard from Sonic Riders. Pretty solid figure. When they announced that Jet the Hawk was going to become a figure, I was pretty ecstatic because I missed out on the DJAY'S version. So it's nice to see that a new company is taking over and creating the characters that we already got, but possibly missed. So his articulation's pretty good. My Jet the Hawk has loose joints, kind of a loose neck, but not really anything bad. He's got the typical arm articulation, ball joint wrist, and his legs swivel around, knees bend pretty well, and he's got pretty nice ankle joints, they swivel, and of course his feathery tail. It kind of has a ball joint as well. Goes up and down, twists, all the stuff. Unfortunately, you can't take his goggles off. They're molded onto the figure, but that's okay. It still looks pretty awesome, and my favorite thing about this guy is the accessory. So you can just kind of put him on his hoverboard and make him balance, and boom, here you go. There's Jet the Hawk. I'm really hoping that they do make the rest of the Babylon Rogues and Riders versions of the Sonic main cast. That'd be pretty cool. Next up, we have Blaze the Cat, and this is another figure I missed out during the DJAY'S era, but now I have a Jakks specific version, and to my understanding, this is the superior figure anyway, so I'm not too upset. So yeah, she's got a pretty awesome sculpt. Love the paint job. Her articulation is pretty good too. Basically what you'd expect for a Jakks specific Sonic figure. Fix her up a little bit. Get her knees, they'll swivel. Her shoes also have the ball jointed ankle, and her tail slightly moves just because her dress is kind of in the way. So yeah, pretty standard stuff, but a fantastic sculpt. And her accessory is a red soul emerald. So I'm wondering if they're going to start making the rest of the Sala Emeralds and then possibly a Burning Blaze figure. Who knows? That would be another one-up from DJAY'S. So here's Blaze the Cat. Up next we've got Cream the Rabbit. And this is the first Cream the Rabbit figure since 2003, I believe, with the Sonic X line. I know that she doesn't get a whole lot of merchandise, but it's good to see some representation here. So head sculpt is pretty good. Articulation is pretty decent too. Her head doesn't move 360 because of her ears. Unfortunately, they don't move. Her arms got the typical articulation. Because she has shorter legs and she's wearing a dress, it's a little bit hard to move her legs all that much, but she's got the knee articulation, and her ankles also have the whole ball joint swiveling. So yeah, that's Cream the Rabbit's articulation. Sculpt is fantastic, and her accessory is an ice cream cone, which you would think it would have been Cheese the Chow, but that's okay. I'm sure a re-release figure will have Cheese, but we shall wait and see. Let's turn our attention to some smaller figures. So first off, we have the 2.5-inch Dark Chow. Pretty awesome figurine. Love the printed on evil Chow face. The paint job is excellent. Loving the little like spray paint sort of gimmick. Very reflective of how Chows look in the games. Articulation is extremely limited because it's just a little tiny Chow figure, but it's pretty awesome. Got the moving shoulders, got the rotating head, and that's pretty much it. But this is a very nice little guy, and it fits perfectly with my Team Dark setup, so it works out amazing. Hopefully we can get a Hero Chow at some point. Should be pretty cool. Next up is the Badnik Neutron. That's right, the little wall-crawling, chameleon-looking lizard robot Badnik thing. It's a pretty cool figure. Doesn't have an opening or closing jaw. Head rotates 360. It's actually on a ball joint. I never knew that. So that's a little bit of news for me. Nice discovery. His legs go up and down. They don't really move all that much. And his tail moves. Yeah. Okay, so that's two things that I never really paid attention to. I must have really just taken him out of the box and just put him up on the shelf. So yeah, he's got more articulation than I realized. So that's pretty awesome. So there's Neutron. Another Badnik to add to the collection. Next up, we have one of the most amazing figures from Jakks Pacific, and one that I wanted for a long time. We've got Mephiles the Dark in his like crystalline shadow form. Yeah, pretty awesome figure. Loving the paint details, loving the texture. It's very cracked and crystally, so I think that's a very nice addition from Jakks Pacific. I think they took their time with this figure and they nailed it. So he comes with the base because originally in his model he doesn't actually have feet, so they figured a way to make it work, and I think it's amazing. So this is kind of like the little crystal thing that he stands on. Very nice. Articulation wise, pretty solid, pretty standard Jakks Pacific Sonic stuff, of course, but since his hand is like covered with this like crystal stuff, like it's just the whole thing there. It's got the arms, knees, ankles, got the ball joint again. You see? Oh no, it's actually one solid piece. So oh wait, yep. Okay, mine was a little bit tough to do, but that's okay. Yeah, so I had to get this guy off the internet because Target never had him. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but here we are. Finally have Mephiles. gosh, it's a solid looking figure. It kind of makes me want to get Tito the OG's like '06 Sonic custom figure. That'd be awesome. I don't know, it would just fit. Because he kind of does have like an '06 kind of look to his head. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but like it just seems a little bit more like narrow. The quills seem a bit longer, but that could also just be me being a fan of '06. So yeah, that's Mephiles. Next up we have the Heavy Gunner of the Hard-Boiled Heavies from Sonic Mania. Pretty much just like the standard Egg Robo, but he's just got a little bit different paint, different sculpts, big old gun, well, rocket launcher. Yeah, this is the boss from Studiopolis, and I think he's a pretty solid looking figure. Articulation's pretty good. It's a hard time moving his head 360, but it's there. And of course he's got his typical Sonic Egg Robo articulation, so he's got like elbow, wrist, forearm, swivel, ball joint. His legs are a bit stiff on my figure, so I'm trying not to put too much stress on the joints. And oh, his jetpack moves too. That's really interesting. See, like I said with the Neutron figure, I think I put most of these just on the shelf, so I never really got a chance to like look at the articulation and kind of study it. But yeah, that's Heavy Gunner. Not much else to say about him. Looks pretty cool next to my Egg Robo, but I'll show you that once I get to displaying him. Along with Heavy Gunner, we recently got the Heavy King of the Hard-Boiled Heavies, so pretty awesome. Definitely the more unique design when comparing to Egg Robo and Heavy Gunner. Of course, he's got pretty similar articulation. Let's see, his legs. They're a bit tougher to move because they're more on the side rather than underneath his body, so a little tough. And of course he's got a cape, so it's harder to bend his knees, but he's got everything that you would expect from a Jakks specific Sonic figurine. Pretty solid, liking the staff with the crystal orb on top. It's been a while since I played Sonic Mania, so I can't remember like the specific name of the staff, but it's a pretty good game. I'm liking the designs of the Hard-Boiled Heavies. So yeah, that was a Heavy King. Last but not least, we have Metal Sonic 3.0 from the Sonic Rivals games. And I gotta say, despite him being a repaint of the original Metal Sonic, this is a fantastic looking figure. Like, the paint job is really well done. Just like the fact that they're including more obscure characters into the Sonic toy line. Yeah, I mean, articulation is pretty much what you expect from Metal Sonic. Typical ball joints, forearm, elbow, wrist. I think this one's more of a ball joint than the original. I could be wrong. Then of course his arm is like sort of fixed like this, so you can kind of get him to do a pretty dramatic like villain pose. Got your typical ankle, shin, knee, and leg joints. Pretty solid stuff. Just like seeing many poses you can do with this guy. And he's pretty intimidating looking too. That is Metal Sonic 3.0. For comparison, here's the original Metal Sonic. Yeah, quite the difference just paint-wise. Solid figures all around. Definitely liking that we have two Metal Sonics from the modern era now, because I think with the classic collection, we have Mecha Sonic and classic Metal Sonic, so it's nice to have another robot Sonic duplicate. So yeah, that's that for these guys. So everyone, that has been my overview of all of these Jakks specific Sonic figures. hopefully you got a little bit more insight onto these guys. If you don't have them yet, I would highly recommend picking them up if your local Target has restocked, or if you manage to find them for a decent price online. But yeah, now we're going to get to my favorite part, which is displaying these guys and showing you how I do it. So everyone, this is my current Jakks Pacific Sonic display, and I gotta say I'm very proud of the progress I've made with my collection. Yeah, there's not much else I can really say other than the fact that I've managed to collect most of the main line for so long, and we've really come a long way from where we started with Jakks with all those bendy figures. But now we have a pretty amazing cast of characters, and it's just amazing to see. So I'm excited for what Jakks Pacific has to offer next. I'm sure we'll get some information soon, but aside from that, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about these figures, and I hope and wish the best of luck to those who are collecting right now. May you find all the figures you want and just enjoy. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like or leave any comments letting me know what you think. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because it only takes a few seconds and it helps me out a lot. So, with that being said, hope you take care, stay safe, and be well. Have a good day or night, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.